Ridiculous questions are so annoying. I'm not even. I ask questions. I'm a journalist. That's what we do.
Hello, citizens. In this video, we'll see a Chille detractor commit to felony eavesdropping, perhaps? Tell me what you think.
And my phone rings and it's Renee Goodwin. And she says, "Hey, Tina, I need to talk to you about your friend Chille." And I said, "Don't call him my friend." So I hang up the phone, I call Larry. I said, "You better come over to my house. If I get my husband involved, it's not going to be pretty. I don't want to get my husband involved. He's already pissed off enough at Chille. Could you please come over and be the voice of reason?" And Larry went over and tried to talk to him that day. Larry comes up out of the basement. He says, "Dude, man, Tina, this guy's got drugs in your house." 10 o'clock rolls around. 11 o'clock rolls around. I'm on the phone with Larry. "Larry, you got to get this guy out. I'm done. I'm done with this. Come help me get this guy out. Please." Larry goes, "Mute your phone." And I said, "Excuse me? Mute your phone." I muted my phone, and Larry Filanoy called Chille DeCastro. And there's only 10 minutes missing from that video. I have an additional 5 minutes on a digital recorder because I went out to my van. I was in shock. The first thing out of Chille's mouth to Larry was, "Man, I don't know if I can trust you." "Larry, can I trust you?" "Shut your mouth. Keep your cards close to your chest because you're giving away your entire case." And
It's not like on TV where you go to court and, you're allowed to surprise your opponent. Everything has to be, all your evidence needs to be laid out before you go to trial.
And I was trying to be really quiet because I'm digitally recording it with my recorder. And I'm pounding on my steering wheel in my garage.
What did he say? That's one thing that's absent here. The only thing she said that she heard him say was, "I don't know if I can trust you." And obviously, his suspicions, or his doubt, were justified. No, he couldn't trust you to not be committing felony eavesdropping. Perhaps. That's the horrible thing that he told you that had you pounding on your steering wheel? If you have the recording, why not release the recording? Maybe it's because of the lawsuit that's pending, or threatened to be pending. Oh, Chille said he filed papers against her, I think. IIRC.
What do you mean I did? I was on that phone call, Larry, with Larry. "Oh, you set me up," he said. "What's the plan, Chille?" But I was on that phone call. I heard every word you said. And he goes, "Well, we need to talk about it." And he goes into the bathroom, and I text my husband, and I said, "Come get this motherfucker out of our house." My husband walks out with his 9mm strapped to his waist. And my husband, I can hear him, he says, "How dare you come into my house and tell my wife..."
So she can hear him yelling from upstairs while he's armed and Chille's unarmed. She says, "How dare you what?"
"If her son's life didn't matter. How dare you come into this house and tell Renee Goodwin, her best friend, that her son's life didn't matter. You get your shit and you get the fuck out of our house." And he sat there and tried to backpedal for 25 minutes. And he did not have guns at this time. Not at all.
So when the armed man came downstairs and started yelling at Chille, profanities and accusations, he then armed himself at a later date. Seems like that had a maybe life-changing event. Sounds like a life-changing event.
And my husband, I can hear him, he says, "How dare you come into my house and tell my wife her son's life didn't matter. How dare you come into this house and tell Renee Goodwin, her best friend, that her son's life didn't matter. You get your shit and you get..."
Like, nobody says that. Nobody says that your dead son's life doesn't matter. Nobody says that. Come on. Is that something any person would ever say, conceivably? You could see a member of the KKK saying something like that about someone they hate. They're hate mongers. But Chille really doesn't strike me as the hate-mongering type.
And my husband said, "This is not a debate. This is not a negotiation. Get the fuck out." My husband finally went downstairs and said, "Do I need to help you move along? Because I'll just start picking stuff up and just tossing it out the front door because I don't give a fuck. You're leaving and you're leaving..."
"I'll damage your property. Get the fuck out right now, or I'll damage your property. Thanks for trying to help us raise exposure of our dead son. Now get the fuck out. We believed something that someone else said, and that triggered us.
The fuck right now." And I kept quiet until he came to Ironton and until he started terrorizing this little town. And I knew I couldn't be quiet anymore. And I started digging.
Terrorizing this little town by getting bad cops off the street and exposing corrupt officials and their investment in rehabs. Exposing officers whose punishments go down in the bathroom, who pepper spray and tased an unarmed man in his own home, locked his dog in the home. The dog had to chew its way out. It chewed its way out of the house to find food so that it could nurse its puppy. The same officer that was grooming little kids on Instagram, getting them drunk and raping them. Yeah, he's a terror, this Chille DeCastro. It's not the police that are the terror, raping kids, feeling them up in the bathroom. No, tasing and pepper spraying a man in his house, locking his dog in. No, Chille's the terror. He's a terror.
And she told us where to look. She told us what areas to look, what departments to look. And he's lied.
And what did they find? I know he said fake ID, public intoxication, and shoplifting. Surely, if you have this breaking news, you're going to want to tell us, right? This expose. What's this secret felony that he's got? You know, he's legally carrying a weapon, but he's obviously a dangerous criminal.
He's lied to everyone. He is not
Okay, he lied. Tell us.
who he says he is. He is not what he claims to be. He is nothing more than in it.
You know who lies is people who shake their head while they're talking.
He's lied to everyone. He is not who he says he is. He is not what he claims to be. He is nothing but a coward. And all he wants to do is spin your story, make his money, and disappear. And we're not the only ones this man has grifted on. He's not going to bring you justice.
Okay, so who are the other people?
This is not the way to do it. The reason you're resonating with him is because he's saying things to the police you wish you could say yourself. I get it. I get it more than you get it.
That's not what resonates with me. What resonates with me about Chille is that he actually has a plan to move towards a more compassionate justice system, one that doesn't torture people, one that hopefully provides redemption for the criminal, so that, you know, they're not just tortured and punished and created into a second-class citizen that will never be employed except by friends and family, and will likely remain hooked on drugs and further victimized, but a system that will uplift that person to a point where they can redeem themselves if they have victimized someone. That a victim can't stop what happened to them, but they hope to stop it from happening to other people. And that's where true justice comes. And so if someone does victimize someone else, it's the correction system's job to correct the behavior. And you're not correcting behaviors by torturing people. You correct behaviors by identifying where these behaviors stem from and how that person can be healed. That's what resonates with me. I don't know. Maybe for some people it's that he calls cops dirty pigs. You might be right about that.
Because none
Just not in my case.
The sumbitch is a liar and a thief. If you don't believe me, rewind this video and watch it one more time. Then reach out.
She didn't give any proof, or didn't even accuse him of being a thief. All she did was admit that her husband threatened him with a gun, and she committed felony eavesdropping. That's all this video actually said.